reimagining it over and above just sharing the same crap, let me say, over and over again, I think is the goal.
Well, and also too, I think people, especially these days, they make their social posts so delightful and interesting, almost as interesting as maybe the place you want them to go, the content you're pushing them to. So even if the blog post is staying the same that you want them to go read, that the way you write about it and introduce it and talk about it, tell a little story and then link to the post. You can have some fun even there. Like not even touch the content, just change up the way you're promoting the content on your social media channel.
Welcome to the 4 a.m. report. Let's face it, we all have to market. Large or little, it's harder than ever to stand out in a cluttered space of one-size-fits-all and copycat marketing moves. Welcome to the 4 a.m. report, a micro podcast that brings you valuable conversations with people on the marketing dilemmas keeping them up at night. Here are your hosts, contrarian marketers and creative clutter cutters, Susan Diaz and Will Lamont.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 4 a.m. report. Susan and I have not just come from a white party. We actually just are enjoying the summer and here over at Susan's place. But
no white after Labor Day.
Oh, God, we're breaking the rules.
No, it's not yet Labor Day, though. We're fine.
Oh, wait, we're not breaking the rules.
We're not breaking the rules.
Okay, maybe when you hear this, it'll be after Labor Day. Anyways, so folks, today we're going to say something controversial, right, Susan?
We are. We're going to say that content creators of all types should stop creating new content. There. How's that for controversial?
That strikes. That's like a knife going into my creator's heart, telling me to stop creating. But we're going to talk about a different way to be creative. Susan, you had a great metaphor. The reason we're doing this podcast, it'll be short, folks, I think, but the reason we're doing this topic is Susan had a really delicious metaphor that she said to me earlier today, and we thought we should hop on and record about this. So what was the metaphor you were sharing?
The metaphor was to think like a mixed media artist. And mixed media artists they take pride in that sort of no waste, finding things and then reimagining them, sort of making them, and I'm stepping on the toes of our actual framework right now by using some of those words. But essentially, if you talk about mixed media, you'd be like, take a lot of old things. I learn a lot from my daughter, who's 10 years old and they do a lot of art projects. It's like, take a cereal box and take, an egg carton and put them all together and start making it work for you, right? So I think that's the childlike way of looking at it. But if you see most companies today, even the very small companies, we've got tons of content. And there's a lot that we've made. And our default tends to be like, let's go and make some more that's new. We find it really hard to get people to repurpose. Would you say, Will?
Because a lot of people think repurposing is just putting the same thing out, copy and paste. That's not what we're talking about at all. What we're going to say is what we want to challenge you all to do is audit what you have, find those nuggets, those golden nuggets, those gems, those things that worked really well in the past, and repurpose them in the way a creative mixed media artist would, right? You put slap a fresh coat of paint, rearrange things a little differently, maybe switch up the intro, maybe add a new chapter to something.
So that's really the crux of what we're talking about. So in the content world, then, like if you started with a podcast like this, what is it that you're going to do to sort of repurpose it or reimagine it? And so because we love an alliteration around here, we came up with two things. So what is repurpose? Repurpose equals one, reclaim something. Take something else that already exists that has had hopefully a good track record. How would you find out from your numbers if one of your things does a little bit better than the others? Bring it out and give it some more play, right? So really reclaiming something with a successful lifespan and then extending it. So reclaim is the first one. And the second one is reimagine. The point that you were making, Will, which is that people think repurpose is just pasting that same link again and then going out with it. And we touched on things like visuals. You really have to think about visuals as well. Like don't put the same visual over and over again. You're going to need to have a suite of visuals. So reimagining it over and above just sharing the same crap, let me say, over and over again, I think is the goal. Well,
and also too, I think people, especially these days, they make their social posts so delightful and interesting, almost as interesting as maybe the place you want them to go, the content you're pushing them to. So even if the blog post is staying the same that you want them to go read, that the way you write about it and introduce it and talk about it, tell a little story and then link to the post.
Yeah.
You can have some fun even there. Like not even touch the content, just change up the way you're promoting the content on your social media channels.
It's like different invitations to the same party, right? Like, and I think, and again, also thinking in a way that sometimes people may not come in and read the full piece, but they still got that delightful little nugget over there. And whether it's like, I often like to do it as GIFs, right? I mean, you pick a couple of universes and you do GIFs. Often I'll just go and post a GIF making one point from an extensive article. There's not a lot of people who want to read that, but they did take away that one point. So that's, I think, our challenge to you this week. Like we said, we'll keep it short. Really think about that mindset behind creation. Nobody's telling you not to create. Just create in a different way. Don't.
I have a point, and this is something you do really well. So I was just talking about those social posts. Go back and look at the posts you've put on LinkedIn. Could that little post become a short blog to go on your website with an image or a video or something?
Yeah.
So even reverse engineer it that way. Like that was something we've done for some clients. We've really upped their blog publishing by looking at some of the wonderful posts they've written, just added a little bit to it, an intro or whatever. So think of it that way too. That's a way to repurpose your social in a creative way and turn it into a blog on your site.
Yeah, 100%. So challenge yourself this week. Really think about how it is that you can just resist the urge to start and do something from scratch. Instead, take something that you already have and work with that. Think like a mixed media artist.
Love it.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're losing sleep over a marketing-related problem, let us know. Drop us a line at cp.digital. Sweet dreams. Well, hopefully.